Hello, future teacher, and welcome back to another test prep lesson covering Praxis 5205. In this lesson, you're going to learn how exactly to write your constructed response essays. Remember that this exam includes a total of 3 essay responses, so let's jump straight into it. Your scoring rubric, or your scoring essay, will be graded upon a score of 0, 1, 2, or 3. You're shooting for a 3, although a 2 is good enough. 3 is the best, 2 is good. It's really hard to pass if you are getting scores of 1, and then usually a person will receive a score of 0 if they leave it blank, which probably means they didn't have enough time to finish. We have a couple of small, general, but important suggestions. Remember to always read the directions and the details totally and completely. Read it carefully. Use the small whiteboard that's given to you if you go to the test center. Take notes. Now, let's talk about structuring your exam. This part's really important. When you take your exam, more than likely, of course, I don't know what exam you're going to get, but if we just move over to the official Praxis study companion, we can see on this page one example. And in this one example of a constructed response prompt, they provide a real-life scenario-based question about this teacher and the student who has a reading need. And then in this prompt, they provide us with 2 reading tasks. So what we've done at Teacher Preps is we've created 7 constructed response prompts for you to practice with, 7 examples. And we've created these prompts to have 2 different tasks because that's what's shown on the official study companion. And what we want to do is we want to mirror what you will likely receive on exam day. And let's talk about how to structure your essay response. Now here we have task number 1. And in task number 1, you can see that we've divided this section into 2 different paragraphs. And in paragraph number 1, you're going to state your first instructional strategy. Now, in your paragraph number 1, you want to use these 2 things. The first is you want to identify and describe the instructional strategy that best addresses this student's need. So if, for example, the teacher is working with a student who is showing a reading need of, let's say, fluency, and this teacher has assessed the student and realized that it's not only fluency, but specifically, let's say, pacing. Remember, pacing is the reading speed. Sometimes students will read too slowly, and sometimes students will read too fast or too quickly, and that will actually bog their comprehension. It will lower their comprehension. Let's just say the student is reading too quickly. You might think too quickly, yes, they just fly through the material. Remember that a lot of times students who read too quickly are not actually recognizing key punctuation marks such as commas and full stops or periods, exclamation marks, questions, and then by the end of the paragraph or page or a couple of pages that they've read, when you ask them comprehension checking questions, they think, I forget. And so pacing is really important along with accuracy and prosody. So after that you have identified the instructional strategy, in this case, the issue is, for example, we're saying reading pace, or rate is what it's really called, reading rate. And you can say, well, the instructional strategy that I would first try is echo reading. And echo reading, if you recall, is when I, the teacher, read, for example, 2 sentences, and then the student reads the same 2 sentences. But the reason that this works is because I model the correct pacing for this text. And you'll also want to remember, just in case if you get a reading rate problem, is that we want to read specific texts with different rates, right? Because oftentimes we'll read a science textbook at a different and honestly slower pace than we'll read a story, like a fiction book, okay? So depending on whatever you are going to choose or whatever is presented on your constructed response prompt, that's what you're going to want to go with. Now, so first things first, make it clear and direct in a quick and simple line by identifying the issue and then stating the instructional strategy that you plan to help the student overcome this reading need. Second, state the benefit of, for example, we're using echo reading as our example. So state the benefit of the instructional strategy that you would first use. Now, notice that task 1 actually asks you to demonstrate your understanding, your ability to apply 2 different effective reading instructional strategies to facilitate development of the student's reading level based off this specific need. So second, you will want to go ahead and in your second paragraph, notice that there are 2 tasks, and what I recommend you to do is write 4 paragraphs. And that's because you, on test day, when you're writing your response, you want to make it as easy as possible for your test examiner or the person who's grading your constructed response. You want to make it as easy as possible for them to identify and find the instructional strategy and benefit that you say. So if, for example, you need to do a total of 4 things, even though that there are 2 different tasks, there are 2 things to do per task, you can make it easier for your scorer, the exam scorer, to find your answer by just labeling them in different paragraphs. That's what I recommend. You don't have to do it, but it worked for me, okay? So 2 different paragraphs for task 1, they're the same thing, except a different instructional strategy. So if you used echo reading for the first instructional strategy, use something different that would still help the student develop a better reading pace or reading rate, because we said that's the problem that we're working on. Now, in task number 2, it's going to be different, similar but different than in task number 1. Task number 2 is going to ask you to identify 2 different instructional strategies that would use a differentiated model. So if, for example, any time when I took my teacher certification exam, I read the word differentiation, or how to differentiate instruction to meet the needs of all learners or a specific group of learners or a specific one learner, I always first thought about our 5 senses: taste, touch, sight, smell, and hearing. Remember that these are all different ways that you can use to differentiate learning. If this student is having a hard time with auditory learning, for example, they maybe just say that one little phrase, then you can use technology, maybe an audiobook or something to facilitate a differentiated way to learn. So we want to think about different ways such as tactile learning, kinesthetic learning, using small groups, pair work, trying different books, different resources, right? So if the teacher originally used a worksheet, try something that's different than a worksheet, maybe like building blocks. Or if because this is a reading test, it might talk about spelling, and in that case you can use tactile instructional strategy like magnets on a whiteboard. And you can have the student, instead of just writing, maybe they have a hard time with their motor skills, they're a young learner, you can use a different way to facilitate the same type of learning so that the student can still demonstrate their understanding, which is what you want to do. You want to say, does this student meet, exceed, or not yet meet the standard for the skill that's being taught? So use this structure. It's excellent. It's simple. It's really easy for the test scorer. It's simple for you to remember. Now, I'm just giving you all of this because I want you to pass. And because I want you to pass so badly, I want to show you that if we just navigate on the left bar, the navigation bar, and we scroll down, so our first tab reads about the essay section. This is all about the essay section. All of this gives some more information, and right here we say, ready to check your writing skills? Click the purple button right down here and check out our AI essay grader. And you might be thinking, what the heck is an AI essay grader? Well, it's an AI model that grades your essay. This is phenomenal. And again, we have presented you with 7 different prompts. You only need to write 3 constructed response essays on your exam day, but I know that practice makes perfect. We all know that. And active learning is really where your recall will shine and come back to you on test day. So what our team was thinking is, what can we do to make learning more effective in our test preparation program to help you ace your exam on your next try? And we trained an AI model specifically for the Praxis 5205 exam. And what we've done, as you can see right here, we have this sample constructed response question. So this is sample constructed response number 1. You'll notice it has 2 tasks, a little bit of directions, and if we go back over, it's very similar to what the official Praxis study companion uses. We just created our own scenario so that you have another chance to really test your writing skills. Now notice here this little black box, this is an AI essay grade, and I'll come back to it, but what I want to show you is that we also have a sample response. So this is the essay that I wrote that would receive a score of 3, and you'll see that in a second. Then we also have a commentary, and we did this because this is also what the official testing study companion uses. So we thought, well, why don't we kind of mirror that? But of course, different teacher, different student, different context, different everything, totally unique. But we don't, the study companion, the official one right here, they only present you with 1. And we thought, again, how can we make learning more effective? So instead of just 1, we actually made 7. And you can use these study prompts to actually type in, and I've already copied, and now I will paste my response to this constructed response, Praxis 5205 exam essay prompt. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click and I'm going to go paste, and this is my response to this essay. And all you want to do is you want to click send. And it gives you a score and feedback to improve. So remember that this scoring rubric is 3 at the top. So the best score is 3. It is actually really hard to get a score of 3 with this AI essay grader. We made it strict, to be honest, because we want it to be hard in order to get a good grade, because it's hard to get a good grade on the actual exam day. Now notice, if I just take part of this, let's say I only wrote 1 task, and I go and I copy and I paste this in, and so now I am not actually completing the entire task set. Look, it gave me a score of 2, which it should, because I only did part of the work. And if we can see, if I just, let's say, let me just copy this and go paste, and if I make, a sentence or 2, we can see that it will give me a score of 1, and it gives you feedback. So, your response mentions 1 instructional strategy, but it lacks the other things. And of course, if I say, I like to skateboard, listen to music, all totally true, and eat delicious pizza or just pizza. Okay, so let's just see what it will say. There you go, a score of 0. It's because this response is unrelated to the prompt. No one else, there's no other test prep that has this, and if you're feeling nervous about your writing section to pass your Praxis 5205 exam, click the link in the description below to get access to this test prep to make passing simple. Thanks so much for watching, and if you want to go to our website, it's teacherpreps.com. See you in the next one. Bye.